Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shoshana Gross. I am the manager of major events with the Ohio Restaurant Association, and this is our daily dose. Today, we are very excited to have two special guests with us. Extra special guest is Renee Hoggay from ServSafe. So thank you so much for being here, Renee.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And we're really excited to talk to her about ServSuccess, a new-ish program that she'll be talking to us a little bit about. And of course, we also have Miss Laura Morrison. So hi, Laura.
Hey, Shoshana. Thanks so much for having me today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I thought we'd talk about today, our workforce pressure and how it's really just everywhere, all across Ohio, in the US, and every operator we speak with is sharing challenges that they're having with employee attraction and, recruitment and retention. And the National Restaurant Association has really developed some programs to get after this, to support workforce development and attract workers to the industry. And, Shoshana, you're aware, but I don't know if our viewers are aware, or if Renee is aware, but ORA is very focused on raising awareness that restaurants are open and hiring. And with that, we have our ORA HR committee, which Renee sits on as well. Thank you for serving. And it's made up of volunteer professional leaders in the human resource, risk, and safety areas of the food service industry. And we're forging ahead to help bring clarity and tools for, ORA members to attract and retain talent and workforce professional development, compliance, and much more. And did you know that April is National Volunteer Month? So it's a great time to get involved as an ORA ambassador. So if you have questions, just reach out to me directly. You can get my number. It's 614-246-0205. And you can also go to our website and find me there. But it's certainly a competitive environment. And so Renee, thank you for joining us to talk about how ServSuccess through the National Restaurant Association provides a clearly defined vision to empower our restaurant operators in their hiring efforts.
Well, thanks for having me, Laura. Truly appreciate it.
Great. So let's just jump right in, Renee. And why don't you tell us a little bit about who would benefit from ServSuccess training?
Sure. Well, ServSuccess is designed to empower restaurant workers to take control of their own careers. But it also helps employers show those valued employees a career pathway to management within their own operation. And they can do this doing jobs that they already enjoy doing. So we've got 3 levels. Restaurant professional is tailored to those frontline hourly employees. So that would include cooks, servers, hosts, and even some of those that lead them. We have restaurant supervisor, and that focuses on new and emerging managers. So for example, team and shift leaders, assistant managers would be included in that as well. And then there's restaurant manager. And that focuses on departmental managers. So that would be front of house or back of house managers, service managers, and even GMs. Now, this is important because research shows across all business segments that 87% of millennials indicate that training and development is crucial to a job. Actually, 93% of employees said they'd stay at a company longer that invested in their careers. And it's those people-centric companies that not only want to have an incredible service and hospitality for their guests, they also want to empower their team members to be the best they can be. And this in turn promotes employee retention and also a better guest experience.
Absolutely. So how does the training work?
Well, industry turnover rates pre-COVID were 70% or more. And we were getting a lot of feedback that ServSafe training and certification, while it focused on compliance, making sure that people knew how to safely handle food and alcohol. Now that was really important, but there was also kind of a missing link, and that was the need for business acumen. It's a necessity for managers, supervisors, and even those line level employees to be cognizant of the fact that restaurants oftentimes run on very tight margins. So understanding what makes them successful is critical as well. And that's why we built it. So training starts with the basics, and then it adds in that supervisory and managerial content. Ultimately, Shoshana, it's going to be composed of 20 total courses. All are created by industry experts. So it's just like ServSafe in that regard. And they're aligned with 3 professional certifications. We're in the process of building out the 8 remaining manager courses at this time, but the supervisor and manager levels are both part of that managerial pathway. And we made the decision to do the supervisor level first because it covers most of the content that managers need from the onset, such as leadership, cost control. So this level is ideal for newer managers or even those that have been in a kind of a managerial role for 1 to 4 years. So I would suggest thinking of that manager level as more in-depth content for seasoned managers who take on more profound responsibilities within the organization.
Gotcha. So with 20 courses is kind of a lot. Can that progress be saved?
Fortunately, yes, it can. So while we did try to take a little bit of the sting out of that by organizing our training into bite-sized modules, so they can be completed in 45 minutes for the professional version, upwards of 2 hours for the manager version. Training can be stopped and resumed throughout the way. So a student's not going to lose any of his or her progress by starting and stopping.
Fantastic. And what other resources can ServSafe or ServSuccess rather offer?
Sure. Well, in addition to the learning suites that I just kind of referenced a moment ago, our program also offers interactive study guides, as well as certification exams that adhere to industry-defined standards. So interactive study guides promote adaptive learning, which features a series of engaging and interactive questions. And this is all to identify learning gaps to help get that employee up to speed. They provide a good gauge whether or not he or she has the knowledge base to actually sit for the exam. And our secure exams validate the skills, competencies, as well as experience gained, which is awarded with a certified restaurant professional, supervisor, or managerial industry credential.
Great. What's the cost of this program?
Favorite question, Shoshana. Employee turnover rates were at record highs pre-pandemic, which the anticipation was that was only going to increase. And this is due in part to the negative perception that restaurants only offer entry-level jobs and not professional career paths and roles. And that's a misconception, especially at the line level, that costs employers a lot of money in the constant cycling of recruiting, hiring, and training new employees. Just for a frame of reference, the cost of turnover for hourly employees is approximately $1,800. A manager, that skyrockets upwards of over $10,000. And a GM is almost $14,000 when you have that employee turnover. Now, the retail pricing of the entire ServSuccess restaurant professional package, so that would be the training, the study guide, and the exam, all lump sum would be $230. The restaurant supervisor package, lump sum, would be $390. And the ServSuccess restaurant manager package, which includes the training that's currently available, would be $525. But you don't have to buy the farm. So you can just buy the learning suites. You could just buy the study guides or the credential exam. So that's really up to you. And some people already have their own management and training programs in place. So they're just integrating in some of the content that we have to kind of offset what they need. So if their front of house operations are tight, but their back of house pre-production needs a little bit of love, you can just buy that.
Fantastic. It sounds like there are options for different levels and different types of restaurants and programs that are in place. So that's really great to hear.
Exactly.
What do you think is the main reason why restaurants should consider using ServSuccess?
Well, I think if anybody's watching the news, it's quite clear that our hospitality industry has contracted severely due to the pandemic, right? Our
Absolutely.
workforce went from being 15.5 million strong to now just being a little more than 80% of that. And for some reason, and I know Laura and I have been on several meetings verifying this, back of house is where the pain is being felt most acutely. And even though the overall industry has contracted, so has our labor force. There's 1.9 million fewer people from ages 16 to 34 demographic looking for jobs right now. And that's alarming for restaurants because of how much we rely on that age group to staff our open positions and roles. Just to give you a frame of reference, that's almost 2/3 of our workforce falls into that segment, which is one of the reasons, despite the fact that more than 110,000 restaurants and drinking places closed either for the long term or for good, that restaurants are still fighting staffing shortages. So we talked about the pivotal role that training plays in retention, but it's also a big factor in attracting talent. Future employees are looking for companies who are looking to create those professional roles, not just jobs. And ServSuccess promotes this while empowering operators to cultivate a leadership pipeline within their organization so they can upskill those prime candidates for those future managerial roles and provide them with that critical business knowledge that they need to drive success within their organization.
It really sounds like ServSuccess is a great tool for restaurants to use to really turn their place of business into a career option for folks who are either just entering the industry or who are starting to take their positions more seriously.
Thank you. It really is.
So thank you so much for taking some time to tell us a little bit more about this wonderful program being offered through the National Restaurant Association, and for all that you're doing to help Ohio's restaurant industry throughout the pandemic.
You're very welcome.
Laura, would you like to take us out today?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Renee. That was great, helpful information. And Shoshana, thanks for having us today. It is so important in the restaurant industry and in the industry, but especially the restaurant industry, to really provide that clear vision. And I think you did that today, of a career path in our industry. Because guess what? We're the hospitality industry. We are a fun place to work. So if you have questions, head to ohiorestaurant.org and you can learn more about the association, Serve Safe Food and Workplace Safety, and also the ServSuccess professional development programs that Renee covered today. So here's how, if you're looking to get involved, because it is National Volunteer Month, this is how you can do that. You can join as a member. You can do that on our website. You can also donate to the Ohio Restaurants Relief Fund to support displaced employees. We started that fund because we know that there were a lot of displaced employees and they just needed some help. And it is a great resource for some of our employees to get back up on their feet a little bit. And then you can also sponsor one of ORA's member events through our vendor sponsorship program. You can reach out to hold a virtual conversation with us, and you can show your loyalty and trust of the Ohio Restaurant Association by investing in the organization that directly supports Ohio's restaurant, food service, and hospitality industry. It impacts the success of our communities and our beloved industry. So if you're not a member yet, just go ahead and click on the join now and take care of that today. Operators, you are a part of a large community of restaurant and food service professionals through the Ohio Restaurant Association and National Restaurant Association, all fighting on your industry's behalf. We're all stronger together.
Thanks, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.